it's like in any relationship, it's never 50-50, right? Sometimes somebody can give 70 and somebody can give 30 and life happens, and we're not curing cancer here, you know? Like, the work is important and we're deeply entrenched into it, but we're also all humans.
Do you think you've always been curious? Has curiosity been something that you've always had?
Yeah. I'm really interested in how people work, why they work that way, stories. I was a lit major when I was in school, and I originally wanted to be a writer. And so storytelling was always embedded in what I wanted to do. And now I just say that I storytell through this in a different way.
Yeah, I was going to say, where did you see, or where did you find the overlap of being a lit major and a storyteller, and where that sort of cross paths, or it got embedded with whatever language you use now to being a restaurateur?
Just wire touching with people. And if I can tell a story authentically, people always connect to it, whether it's a dish, you know, that made me think of my grandma or whatever. It could be even across cultures a lot of times. The feeling of it, I think, is really special. I don't know. We can get into geeky ingredients of stuff and why something's romantic and overly communicate it. But I think that what we do at a 4-top or a 2-top is just as holy as cutting strawberries for my kid. It's intention, right? And it's memory. It's just making people feel cared for. But I've always been in the feelings of that, which always makes me curious to how I connect with other people. Because that's all I'm really going after is how can I connect with you? How are our stories the same? We're not all that different. We all want the same stuff. It's very simple. If you touch on that, I think that's the longevity of businesses in general, and especially restaurants. Is just being able to, that's why mom and pop places, I think, are so special. The Midwest is so heavy with them. You get a different type of hospitality when it comes to that. And those are special places in Dallas too, which I think that we have kind of very few of.
Yeah, it's interesting that I'm going to make probably, if anything I say is dumb or ignorance, because I am ignorant and I don't know a lot of things. I always feel like maybe I love places in Dallas that came from here, as opposed to places that are in Dallas that came from someplace else.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, right? I eat lots of Taco Deli. So it's very clear.
Yeah.
But I think there's something different. Well, maybe I'll ask you, why do those feel so different to us?
I could quantify it for you, but I think the highlighting what the disconnect is generally it's a very Dallas. I hate that we get categorized as that.
Listen, same.
Because I think that we're such an authentic city, and it's a great place to be.
Same.
And there is a massive undercurrent that's going on now. And it's not like there's not commerce here. It's not like it's not profitable to be here. We just need more people with stronger voices. And oftentimes when you're noticing a disconnect, it's because somebody probably went to the coast and was like, man, this place is so successful. Let's take this playbook and then open it here and it'll be successful too. Yeah. And sometimes it is, but that is the disconnect. It's, the same designer, the same wallpaper, the same thing. It's the Spirit Halloween store of restaurants,
What a good example.
It's like kind of vacant. Can they print money? Sure. But it doesn't have the same feeling.
Yeah.
And not everything has to be in its feelings too. Sometimes a job is just a job.
Yeah. But I think there's also feelings that go along with that. There's satisfaction. I think what you said is very important, because sometimes we want to romanticize things that don't always have to be romantic, but it doesn't mean they're not valuable and they're not good. going to work and having a job, regardless of what that thing is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Easy and good are not synonymous either.
Yeah.
They can be.
Yeah.
Usually they don't always have to be though.
Yeah.
And sometimes having a place to work is a very good thing that doesn't always feel great.
One thing that I love about Cleveland, and it's starting to happen here, which I'm excited about, is that if you meet somebody in Cleveland and you ask them what they do and you tell them what you do for work, they will immediately say, I didn't ask you what your job was. I asked you what do you do? You know, and there's very often, I think that's common in the Midwest to like go there a little bit because it is more blue collar, and that is not
You're not
the
defined
focus.
by it, yeah.
You're not defined by your work or your circumstances. There's a lot of other stuff that is built around it. But we are in a time where so much of it is intertwined and identity is in your work. I think that's a very fine line.
Sure. It's a piece of our identity, I would, or at least for me, a coach, consultant, speaker, whatever I'm supposed to put on my LinkedIn bio. That is hard. It is a part of who I am.
It is hard. I do that too.
Like it is I spend a lot of my hours in those places. I think a deepest conviction that I have, and also I find to be the greatest struggle in my business though, is that it's not that important. And I think oftentimes I find myself with clients or potential clients who want it to be that important.
Yeah.
Because I think they believe that would give me more value. If I thought that I was the consultant of consultants, we got to hire him.
Fix my problems.
He is.
Tell me what to do.
He is the guy who can solve it rather than, no, he's just a guy. But I did have a deep connection with him, which might allow me to go someplace I've never been. So we could probably do something we've never done.
Yeah.
But not because he has the answer for me. He's just going to help me see I would be curious to see how in your world, how often this would relate your position, a large team, multiple moving parts. Someone told me recently, they were like, do you remember The Matrix? And I was like, ooh, I watched it. Yeah, it depends on what kind of
it's worth a rewatch
analogy you're going to give me, you know? And he was like, when Neo goes to see the Oracle and they're on that bench in the park and said, do you want a piece of candy? It's like, well, why would you ask me that? You already know what I'm going to choose. And the Oracle was like, yeah, of course I do. Like if I didn't know, I wouldn't be a very good Oracle, would I? But you didn't come to me to ask you if you were going to choose the candy. You came to ask to better understand why you made the decision you had already made.
Yeah.
And I, without being too cheesy, because it wouldn't bode well on LinkedIn, like I feel like that's my job is to like, I have no answers for you. I have no idea what your business does.
Yeah.
I think you do. I think you maybe forgot some things or maybe need to be probed in a way to be reminded of why this thing was important to you to begin with.
Yeah.
And is it as important as you think that it is?
Yeah.
I have no idea. My job is help you get to that place. Do you find now your role with your people, with your team, do you find that to be an element of your job, how you function? Is it less do these things this way and rather like, let me help you understand why you're doing the things you're doing and why it matters?
Oh, yeah. I'm way more of a meta manager. We have like a field guide that we wrote to outline the thought process of why we make decisions the way that we do. So it helps them feel confident on how to make decisions so that they can work independently and they can feel good about their work. But we're also all humans. And it's been really satisfying and a challenge to navigate around my own stuff, their stuff, and then also be reminded that like it's like in any relationship, it's never 50-50, right? Sometimes somebody can give 70 and somebody can give 30 and life happens and all of those things. And with the understanding that we're not curing cancer here, you know?
Yeah.
Like the work is important and we're deeply entrenched into it, but also all of this comes and goes. Money comes and goes. Businesses come and go. We can get much more satisfying work with people when we understand that sometimes it's just not that big of a deal, and we can overthink things, and we can come together as a team and be like, "Hey, I just can't. I can't get past this. Can you take this on?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I got you." Or like, "Go take 5 or take a walk around the block." And being able to support not just positions, but people. And everybody's evolving in their sense too. And I think that helps me evolve, as well as like, who are you outside of all of this? Because this industry can eat you.
For sure.
It's not sustainable to work 100 hours a week in your brain or in the building.
Right.
And a lot of the times it's very hard to turn off your brain when you go home, when you're so worried about it and you have a team and you can't let them down, and you get the work that you can get done in that time, but also know that there's going to be weeks where it's heavier and weeks where it's lighter, and take those seasons as they go, because the other ones are coming.
In the season that you're in right now, what is something that you would say you need?
People. Vision. I have to be so laser strong with vision right now. Leading for me isn't collaborative. Feedback is collaborative. And I really want feedback, and for the team to feel like they have a voice and all of those things. But for me and them, me to be able to communicate so clearly where we're going that they see it and feel it. And then, like, they know that picture, they know that perfect day, they know what dish would make sense because it's congruent with everything else on the menu. We won't put a meatball sub on. We'll put a meatloaf sub on, but not a meatball. Why is that? You know, if you can teach that mindset to that, then people can be more creative in the boundaries that they're in. And it's the same way with parenting. I'm a very gentle but authoritative parent. I was like, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. These are the boundaries. This is what I expect of you. And anything within that, cool beans. But this is, that's what it requires here. So they don't have to take on the mental stress of having to fill in the gaps everywhere else. This is the road. Follow me.
What do you do to either remind yourself or call yourself back to a place so that you can maintain that kind of vision?
It takes quiet for me. I don't, something I've learned about myself probably hyper specifically in the past 6 months or year, as we get closer and closer and closer to this opening, which could be at any moment this door opens. The next person that comes to the door, we might just say, hey, do you want a sandwich? Is that I need the space, just 10 minutes to like gather sometimes, or like I need everybody out of the room just so I can see it and feel it. And I need no feedback because then that's when I start to question myself. I just need a specific, and I'll like set a timer. I'll go sit in the back parking lot or do whatever just to clear my head. And then I'll come back in and I'll see it. But and that's why leadership is really singular for me, because if I start taking in too much stuff, then I start to be like, oh man, maybe we should
serve a meatball sandwich,
serve pizza. You know, I made that joke. And then Jenny was like, oh my God, remember when you were talking about doing pizza? And I was like, well, we had a deck oven and we were going to do bread. And then just to make it make sense, we could make pizza. We're like, that's when I start to spiral through that. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. This is a deli. We don't serve pizza. We could be deli pizza, but you start to go through that. And then you can waste so much time on questioning what the right thing is to do. And again, then I always go back to the original thing. And I was like, man, then I grieve time that I lost. And then I introduced confusion to everyone, you know, it's like, are we going to do pizza now? It's like, we're opening in like a week. But that is, I need that 10 minutes or a day or whatever to recoup. And so I can bring back in that vision and lead everybody.
It's interesting. I talk obviously I get it. My whole job is just talk, as my grandma would say. So you just talk and they pay you, like you just have to talk.
Explaining what you do to your grandma.
Yes, grandma. That is what I do. You know, but I think in that the desire and maybe pressure a lot of us feel as leaders in whatever role that is to lead and to have the right answer and then the right tactic and also the right objective and then also the right metric and then also the right task for you to do so that when you do it, I will know that it's all right.
Yeah.
We sometimes talk on our team about like the big box versus the little box. And like, some people on our team own the big box and Rocky's job is to speak into the parameters of that big box and go, this is what that box needs to hold.
Yeah.
But once we know that and we're clear on it for the next quarter, your job is you own the big box.
Yeah.
So if anyone else this team has a question, if it fits in here, the answer is yes. Go for it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you got to be relentless and you're like, hey, we didn't agree that goes in the box in this 90 days. Doesn't mean we can't change it, but we're all aware. And there's other people that just own small boxes. I have no idea what's in a small box. That's why you're here. Because I don't know. I have no idea. I never had one before. You're really good with small boxes. Knock yourself out. Does it fit in the big box? And the big box is where hey, this is going to be a wild ride. Like I love seeing things happen on our team and they go like, did we ever talk about that? Where'd that come from? I was like, no, that's just what I came up with. I thought we should do that. It was amazing. But I think it takes, in my experience, I like to think that that's easy for me. But I feel like every time it happens, on one hand, I have this joy to go, man, look what we're building. And I also have to mourn the loss of a thing that I thought was mine. It wasn't mine. It's probably not even supposed to be mine. Man, but I sure do love when they are mine. And I think I'm learning as a leader how to allow myself to mourn those losses and to give myself time both to, maybe it's to go to the back parking lot to reset the vision. And maybe sometimes it's to the back parking lot to grieve and mourn the loss of a thing that like, I guess maybe I might not ever own that again.
Yeah.
I might not own email marketing. But I liked knowing I could send an email. I guess I could, but I guess I don't have to. It's better when I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Try it out.
If someone says I love the email, that means they love them and they don't love me.
Yeah.
And that's not what it means at all.
Yeah.
We're in this whole thing together, but I think sometimes that's a hard thing.
There's I think I try to focus less on trends because that's really easy. Like we will never do a QR code. It takes away an opportunity to connect with somebody, and that's our whole point. But there was a time when we had a lot of staff angry that we wouldn't do QR codes. And I took that as very internally, like I am not communicating what our focus is good enough. That's a drop of the ball on my part, that I'm not being clear enough and you're not connecting with me on why we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And if I don't address that immediately, then it breeds resentment and we lose people. Or like where we need to understand what we're doing here together. And I was like, over a QR code, it's convenient.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
No hate to the QR code.
Sure.
It's just not what we do. And I just like touching paper menus.
Yeah.
I'm a very like tactical person. It's a creative piece that I don't want to overlook.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. With where we are right now, I love that you said this could open any moment, which means by the time anybody sees this, it is opened and I will have had a minimum of 3 sandwiches. So tell me why this place? Like it's your third restaurant, but it's not third in sequence necessarily, but in to your point, in IRL, it is the third.
Yeah.
So why this place? What's the hope for here?
We originally, I signed this lease with the need, because we were out of space at Fount, to build boards. My kitchen at Fount is about 75 square feet. Yeah. The fact that we can pump what we pump out of that kitchen is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And so we needed somewhere to slice charcuterie, to cheese counter everything, to have more space, to pretty much mother kitchen it. And then construction took forever and there was a lot of gaps. And then in the middle of it, I'm so thankful that everyone trusted me. And I was like, hi, there's this space that came up and I think we can turn it around pretty quickly. And also, we've never been able to rezone our block at Fount to serve wine or alcohol, which was always the goal there, because wine and cheese.
Sure.
Catering alone would do very, very well. So then I was like, this would be a great wine bar. Now, post-COVID, catering licenses, we can wine from here, cheese from here, take it from here. And it was this little trifecta of businesses that would work with each other really well. And so we got Little Blue up, and that's been open for a year now, which is crazy. And then now from here, the last is interesting to become almost commissary to the rest. But now we're shifting what every other restaurant does based on what this can produce.
Wow.
This is the biggest. This is the only place we have fire. It changes the game. And now we also have an opportunity to change what Fount does. And so now we're looking at reworking that concept there, and being open to seeing what that looks and feels like.
Yeah.
I think that what we're really good at is sentiment. And people have a lot of sentiment for these businesses, which I'm very thankful for. It makes me feel very seen. I think it's very cool. But also, it's been going. And my fear is now that it's a little tired. Not in concept, but I think you can always tell when an operator is tired. And I've been in that space. I was like, I cannot let it go there. We have to fix the patches in the walls. You know what I mean? Like you go in and there's not just as much care. And so I've had to learn how to shift to each one all the time and cover its needs, make sure its people are good, hire people to care for those areas that are most important in front of back and house, and then support them. So it's not just, I can't make every board. I can't open every bottle of wine. I can't slice every sandwich. I would love to. And I will. And wash dishes and do all of that. But supporting that meta framework so that we can keep it going and keep people feeling good in the spaces is the most important to me now.
I told you this earlier, quote unquote, off camera, but I want to encourage you in the space of like maybe the momentum is dying. I think this place in particular solves more than a need, but like a deep want that both fans and maybe not yet fans alike, I think have wanted and longed for and hoped for. And the other things you have built and created are awesome. And I think do meet a need. The way that I hear people talk about Little Blue is not how they talk about other great restaurants in Oak Cliff that I also enjoy. It has its own unique voice and experience and the reason people love it. And I have no doubt this place will be the exact same thing. So
Fount is a place to feel cared for. Little Blue is a place to fall in love. And then Seegers is a place to have fun. And so those are each different like wants and needs for myself too. And this, I felt like I have done so much pedaling to get here, or paddling, I guess. And now the wave has swelled. And I'm riding the wave and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. But it's like, I can't stop the wave if I want to.
That's right.
I've just got to learn how to just ride it. And that's the emotion. But that is so tethered to fear for me. That feels like fear. Yeah, that's very...
And to very be very hyperbolic and to quote you back to you. Maybe to quote you back to you because you said it to your littlest. The only way to do things is to not do them or to do them with fear. And
we're doing
I'm sure he sees it because you live it. But if it hasn't happened already, I am excited for the moment that you're behind the counter here and you see yourself doing it with fear and someone has an Italian sandwich in their hand.
Just single-handed walking.
I'm telling you. That may or may not be me, but I am going to have it's
mustard.
It doesn't bother me at all.
I love it.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for your time and giving us a morning on a day that you may or may not decide.
It'll decide for me.
Yeah, I feel
Lisa.
That's okay. That's
making a joke. Maybe we're opening. Maybe we're not.
Yeah. Maybe today's the day you serve your first sandwich. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
So it feels very on brand. Yeah. I non-podcast, I appreciate you. It's great to meet you in real life and have a real conversation, and to go from one time giving you a board back to the back here. And now I saw your card and I was like, no, it was you. It was you who I delivered. You came and picked the board up from me. So I am glad that we are in the neighborhood together. I hope that you and your boys will come and watch a movie together in the front yard with us. And
how amazing. That's so cool.
You probably don't need to hear it from somebody who doesn't know you that well, but you have built and are building something really great, not just for patrons, but from the people that are back there too. And as a business owner myself and someone who spends my whole life with them, that is absolutely not the norm. That's why I have a job.
Oh, thank you.
I hope
that's a very kind compliment coming from you.
You'll be remember that, because it's a very significant thing that people like you and want to do the thing they want with you. It's very, very hard.
We don't always get it right.
No, but that's not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is just to get it.
Yeah, to get it.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. So
that's so good. That's my take.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And also I can't wait to sit on my front porch and smoke a cigar in this ashtray. So
I have 900 of them. Good. And the lighters. You can take them off.
That's my dream. Awesome.